cute.
Okay, so we're on.
Oh, well, happy Friday, everyone. This is Wanda Farrar, the president of Farrar Inc. and the principal broker for Beach and Metropolitan Living Realty Groups. And I'm actually out with some dear friends, still celebrating my birthday. Can you believe it? My birthday was in October.
Okay.
Yes, we are still celebrating Wanda's birthday. We could not pass up this Wanda's birthday. We at Ivy City and we're having a great time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Alrighty, hey you guys, I'm Soul Sister. We're here at Ivy City Smokehouse celebrating Wanda's birthday. It's Friday. Deuces.
Okay, y'all. I'm checking in with the business for December. So we have 2 upcoming activities, and I wanted to make sure I mention first the 2022 MLRG Life and Style December tour stop. And that will be not this weekend, but next weekend, which will be Sunday, December the 11th at 2 p.m. And we will have our book discussion, and the book is the 1619 Project. So if you're interested in joining us, feel free to grab the book, or you can also download it for Audible. And so you don't even have to read it. So it's always conversation, and we'll have probably some clips and stuff from podcasts or whatever. So it's very easy to participate if you like. And then the second thing, just so you know, is that we'll have a retreat. And this is for those who may be interested in the real estate industry. If you want to join us on Saturday, December the 10th, starting at 12 noon, we will have our December retreat. And we'll have different sessions. One session I titled No Secret Agents Allowed. And that's talking about marketing and making sure that you have your personal branding in check and letting people know that you're in business so that they can partake of your services. Another session that we'll have is, my father used to be a gambler, you guys, so I like names like Slap Your Mama is coming around the corner, you know, like the racetrack. So I named this session, It's Hard Out Here for a Realtor. So if you're interested in that session will probably talk about firearm safety and training, liability protection, trying to make sure you have either home warranty in place or the right insurance policies. And I think we're going to have a home inspector possibly to kind of tell us about things to be cautious about. But anyway, join us if you want more information. You can always check in with one of the MLRG agents to sign up and get the information. And we're about to enjoy the rest of our meal. So thank you for tuning in for just a bit to get the December update. And we hope you have a fabulous weekend.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Good day, everyone. This is Wanda Farrar, president of Farrar Inc., principal brokers for Beach and Metropolitan Living Realty Group. And it is Sunday, December the 11th, and it's a little after 2, and we're having our very last tour stop for 2022. It's the 2022 MLRG Life and Style December tour stop, and this afternoon we're having our book discussion. The book is the 1619 Project, and it talks about our history, and it talks about the many things that's happened here in America since the arrival of the first enslaved human beings. And so it goes through actually different chapters, and it's different people. They have either poems or stories or research that they're discussing. And so today we will have some conversation about some of the information that has been presented. One of the things about our tours is that it gives us an opportunity to
reconnect with our family, friends, clients, and the community. And for those who want to be a part of it, all they have to do is sign up. We used to do it in person, and we'll probably have some in-person events in 2023 depending on what's going on. But since the pandemic, we've made all of our activities virtual. And that has made it easier for people to participate, a little less labor intensive as far as preparation for preparing for some of the events. And it's less money, but it also allows people who are not in the area to participate as well. So we have people that log in from different places and they don't have to travel to be a part of it. So we're hoping that if you decide and you want to be a part of our 2023 tour stop, that you will sign up. We have typically one event a month, and what we've done is for the first 2 months we'll have some sort of game, just so we can have that life balance and not always be so serious and be able to just have a little fun. And then the third month, so once a quarter, we normally have a book for discussion. So this afternoon is the 1619 project, and then the first book for 2023 will be Constance, a force to be reckoned with, by local DC author Donna Marshall. And so we're looking forward to that. I actually had several copies that I gifted to the MLRG rock stars, so they'll be able to have the book to read at their leisure over the next few months. So anyway, we are looking for other suggestions. We focus on human rights or biographical type books. And possibly we may consider some books that deal with maybe your financial or mental health and stuff like that, but things that help us to move forward in our everyday lives and be an asset to our communities. So we thank all of you who have participated over the last few years and supported Metropolitan Living Realty Group and the parent entity is Farrar Inc. So we just so happy to have been able to have such a active support system, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your year. We're looking forward to a little downtime, and hopefully you'll get some too. But in about an hour or so, we'll check back in just to see how the discussion is going, and then we'll have one more video at the end just to close things out. So anyway, hope your Sunday has started off well, and we'll be back. Hey everyone, this is Wanda Farrar, the 2022 MLRG December tour stop is in effect, and I'm jumping back on because we have an excerpt that's about to be played, and it's from the PBS, and I wanted to make sure I share that. So I'm about to do that right now. Okay.
And its relevance to today. In 2019, the New York Times Magazine published the 1619 Project with the bold claim that 1619, the year the first enslaved Africans were brought to what would later become the United States, could be considered the origin of this country. The journalist who created and helmed the project is Nicole Hannah-Jones, a reporter for the magazine who won the Pulitzer Prize in 2020 for her work on the 1619 Project. That work went from a special magazine issue to a special newspaper section to a multi-episode podcast series, and it's now been expanded into the just published new book, The 1619 Project, A New Origin Story. Nicole Hannah-Jones, now the Knight Chair in Race and Journalism at Howard University, joins me now in our studio. Welcome to the NewsHour. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So why an expansion? What did you feel it was necessary to expand upon from the previous work in this new book?
There were still so many areas of American life that we wanted to explore, and other writers and historians we wanted to include that we couldn't fit into the original project. And it also was an opportunity to really expand on the original essays, to answer some of the critics, to really show our work and the scholarship that undergirded the original project and to make the connection of slavery to modern America even stronger.
You tackle a lot.
Yes.
Even in this expansion, 19 essays, 36 poems and works of fiction. Issues include capitalism, inheritance, citizenship, music, justice. Contributors include Dorothy Roberts, Wesley Morris, Tremaine Lee, Ibram X. Kendi. How did you even decide what to include, who to approach, who to include?
So it was kind of a mix. There's the essay by Dorothy Roberts on how race was constructed. I knew that Martha Jones, I wanted her to write on citizenship. And then there were certain writers where, like Ibram X. Kendi, I think he's a brilliant scholar, and I didn't know what he would write, but I knew I wanted to include him in the book. I think one of my favorite essays, and one that will probably be the most surprising to readers, is the one by Harvard historian Taya Miles on settler colonialism, Indian removal, and how the 5 so-called civilized tribes also engaged in chattel slavery. I knew we needed to have an essay that dealt with Indian removal, but we had to find the right one. So it was a mix.
There's also the inclusion of portraits, beautiful photographs, real people throughout American history. Why did you choose to include those?
When we learn this history, so seldom do you see just regular Black people in the 1800s or the early 1900s. And every one of those photos are not of famous people, forces you to pause before you enter the essays and reflect that these were human beings with real feelings, with the same emotions, loves, hurts, wants as anyone else. Which is the opposite of what slavery tried to do, which was strip that humanity from people.
This claim, this central idea to the book, that 1619 could be considered the country's origin, that's not the national narrative we're taught growing up here. And it was met with some very fierce backlash when you first published the 1619 Project. Historians, politicians, state lawmakers legislating against it by name. Did the strength of that backlash surprise you?
Yes.
It did.
Yes, of course. I mean, I knew that there was going to be backlash to this. This is a ambitious and provocative project. The reason the project has to exist is we have wanted to treat slavery as an asterisk. And even a lot of historians are invested in the idea of American exceptionalism. We treat the revolutionary period kind of as divine event. And this project was seeking to unsettle that and to say, yes, we were founded on ideals of freedom, but the practice of slavery. And if you think about 1619 as an origin, that explains really some of our most vexing problems and tensions. So I knew there would be pushback, but no one could predict that state legislatures would be seeking to ban the project, that the president of the United States, Donald Trump at the time, would be castigating the project and passing executive orders against the project. I think that's really unexpected.
There was an update to the work published, we should note, right? In March of 2020, there was a clarification made. The original language suggested that protecting slavery was a quote unquote primary motivation for all colonists. You updated that to some colonists. Why was that an important clarification to make?
Well, one, let me say, we weren't suggesting all colonists. That was called rhetoric. So, for instance, if we say Americans love pizza, no one assumes that we mean every single American loves pizza. And so when I said colonists, I wasn't arguing that every single colonist has slavery as a motivation. But when scholars pushed back on that, then we amended it because I think that's what a journalist should do. I think that only strengthens the project.
More big picture, let me ask you about where we are right now, because there's a James Baldwin line that's actually in the book, cited in the chapter called Fear, that not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed unless it is faced. So do you see now a greater willingness among Americans generally to face the history of racism in this country, the legacy of slavery, and to begin to do the work to change it?
I do. I mean, I think the response to the 1619 Project speaks to that. You wouldn't see this type of intensive backlash if millions of Americans didn't actually care about learning this history. I believe that if we believe our country is truly great, then it can withstand the light of the truth. And it's only if you are afraid that somehow the truth will destroy our country that you try to repress it. So I think what we saw last year with the racial justice protests was Americans starting to make connections. and say, wait a minute, we have unresolved issues. When we saw George Floyd killed on national television, that was not just about one bad police officer. That was about a 400-year structure that would make this white officer feel he could kill a man in front of witnesses and not be punished. So those connections are very powerful, and that's why we're seeing the backlash. So I do think we're at a place where Americans are willing to excavate our history so that we can actually try to build the country that we say we are.
The author is Nicole Panna Jones. The new book is The 1619 Project, A New Origin Story. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, we are back. This is the 2022 MLRG Life and Style December tour stop. And we had a very lively discussion of the 1619 project. Very enjoyable, very informative, very, what word should I say? Passionate. We had some passionate discussion. And so this is what I love. I love being able to have conversations with family, friends, clients, the community about things that impact all of us. Every last one of us are impacted. If you're something that impacts one of us directly, it most likely impacts all of us indirectly. So if something happened in my neighborhood, it's very likely that it may be coming to a neighborhood near you. So that's why we want to have this shared interest on how things are in our communities and things that need to be changed. If we can do just a little thing to make a difference, it is all worth it. So today's discussion was great. It is the end of the 2022 MLRG tour. I'm glad to be able to take a rest and start to regroup and recharge for a new agenda. Some of you may want to be a part of that. We will have some sponsorship opportunities. We're working on that. There's 3 different packages available. One for small businesses, a yearly package. It's going to be similar to maybe a Angie's List. So if you want your business to be included when our clients are looking for vendors, you may want to contact one of the MLRG agents about sponsorship activities. We hope to be able to get that up and running in 2023 so that all of us can be able to help one another and actually obtain the services of people who are great entrepreneurs, because I work with a lot of wonderful people who offer great services, and I would like to be able to share that. So as we close out 2022, I do want to offer you to submit possible tour stop activities. So what we have been doing is the game night and we've played spades and bingo. So if you have some other ideas, feel free to share that. We've picked our first book for 2023, and that is Constance, A Force to Be Reckoned With. That is Donna Marshall's grandmother. She wrote a book about her grandmother, and it really sounds like a wonderful book. I haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to reading it in my downtime. The books that we are looking for, if you have some suggestions, need to be related to human rights or some sort of biological type, biographical. I said biological. I may have said that earlier. I meant to say biographical. So biographical type stories, and we have 3 more books that we need to pick for 2023, and we have one in mind that we probably are going to announce. So I'm going to switch this around just so we can talk to a couple of people on the phone, or I should say Zoom. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining. This was a lively, wonderful discussion with just great people. And I know, Taisha, you had a little bit to say.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It was a wonderful experience to talk about the 1619 project and to be a part of the tour stop for 2022. I have enjoyed my time. So if you don't get a chance to, check out the book, you haven't gone to Audible, you haven't gone to Amazon, you can also listen to the podcast, which is a condensed version, or gives you a really nice summary of what the book is about. And that's the 1619 Project podcast. You can find that on Spotify. I think it's also on Google and anywhere that you like to listen to podcasts. So you can check that out.
Okay, my cousin's on the line. Keith, thank you for joining us. You got you had some words. They one of the participants said she just was she enjoyed it, and having your input just made it even better. So thank you.
Oh, no, we all learn from one another, and I just think that it's an excellent thing that you're doing with being able to just get people to socialize in such a positive way. So this conversation was great, and I wish I could have been more a part of it. But these are the types of things that we have to do to improve the relationships in our community, socially, professionally, emotionally. So I definitely appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Keep it going.
Thank you. So we'll have some more activities for 2023. I look forward to all of your participation. And so for those of you who haven't been able to be a part of our tour, well, stay tuned. 2023 is under construction. We are planning it out, and we'll send out a notice, and hopefully you can join us. So have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care. Mwah.